Okay, I got asked a question. What is a cell? I was asked this question in terms of the growth of hair, and so I'll take a whack at answering that. What is a cell? Great question. A cell is a chemical reaction that will take chemical energy and turn it into electrical energy, and okay. Okay, but that has nothing to do with growing of hair, so no, doesn't work. So, okay, I'll try again. Okay, a cell is kind of like is a big room with iron bars on it, and it's kind of like adult timeout. Well, okay, that has nothing to do with hair either. So, okay, I guess that means when you ask the question, what is a cell? You're meaning in terms of biology. Papa's a chemist. I don't do biology that much. So, this is outside my field. So, but I'll give it a shot. Okay, if you take a living system, me, for example, and you cut into it, don't try this at home, but suppose you were, and you took out a little piece of it, you would discover that if you looked at it under a microscope, there's inside of it that makes up a living system, you're going to find what look like little bags. And it's basically, you got a bag here, and it's got what's referred to as a cell membrane. It's something that's going to keep the stuff inside the bag separate from what's outside the bag. And there's some exchange, and there's different ways of getting stuff in and out of a cell. But you got this bag. Inside of it, you've got a part called the nucleus, which is going to have things that are going to store some information in it that provide the information for how to build everything that goes inside of that cell. And so you've got parts that store information, and then you've got lots of other parts in here, and we'll get into that. There's lots and lots of different parts inside, but you basically got factories that are going to be able to build the parts that cell is going to be able to need to use in order to do its job. There's lots of different parts of a cell, and I remember learning about them in college, and I've forgotten most of them, but I remember there's inside of each cell there's a monument to a guy named by the name of Golgi. That was a joke. Don't worry about that. Okay, but you've got parts in here that will allow the cell to do its job. And you've got other cells, and those cells all work together to be able to do what living systems do. Okay, so what would it be like for me? In my eyes, I have what are called rod cells, and those cells are designed to detect light. So I see something, it's picking up the light, and it's telling me that, oh, there's a light over there. That's one of the things that cells do. There's also, well, muscle cells. I've got cells that are designed to be able to stretch and contract, and well, they all contract. We won't get into that, but the idea is they allow you to move. Then you've got nerve cells, and those are going to send impulses from one place to another, allow you to do things like think and move and things like that. Oh, you've also got blood cells. Their job is to transport oxygen from the lungs to different parts of the body, and you've got white blood cells that are designed to fight infection, things like that. You've also got galvanic cells, and okay, I let it slip. That's galvanic cell is a battery, and that has nothing to do with biology. But they're fun too, and one of these days I'll talk about them. But the idea is you've got lots and lots of different parts inside of your body that do the things that you are needing to do to survive. And each of those little parts, each part doesn't have to do the whole job. Each part just does its own little task. So you've got this big complicated system living system, and it's made up of littler things that are more simple, and each one is designed to do a particular job. And that's the sign of a well-designed system. I have here, and see if the autofocus works. I was ripping apart a cell phone. Cell phone is a device that performs a certain task, and you go to the back of it, and I'm not an electrical engineer. I'm not gonna explain what all these parts are, but you got lots of little parts in there. Each part does its job, and they all work together to be able to perform what a cell phone can perform. This is a flip phone. This was from an old phone, so don't take apart cell phones without your parents' permission. Moms and dads, don't provide permission to take apart good cell phones. Just saying. So. But the idea is that cells are kind of like the building blocks of life, kind of like Legos, if you want. You can build amazing things by putting together lots of little simple things. You can take them apart and you can put them back together again in different ways. Well-designed systems are like that. If nothing else, consider the alphabet. 26 letters. You put the letters together in a particular way and you get the Lord of the Rings. When you put them together in a different way, you get Pat the Bunny. You take apart the letters of Shakespeare's Hamlet and put them back together again and you get, green eggs and ham. So you can build anything, just about anything your imagination can imagine. You can build a story with just 26 letters and some punctuation, and that's incredible complexity based on tiny, simple things, each of it doing its job. So that's what is a cell. Obviously, there's other questions that could be asked, and I'll go ahead and admit one of the things that cells do, some cells do, cells part of something called hair follicles, is they produce hair. And we'll talk more about how hair gets put together, or for most people. I get hair here, not so much here anymore, but enjoy it while you can. But hair cells will produce what we call hair, and that's an important question for another time. So, what is a cell? Hopefully, I've started to answer that. There's a whole lot more that I could say.